technology. And she does it like really entertainingly, that you're gonna try and fall asleep because you got up super early this morning, but there's no way you're gonna be able to. So anyway, that's Corinne.
Well, good morning, Hawaii. How are you doing? Everybody say, hey, Corinne.
Hey, Corinne.
Making me feel at home. I am one of you. I'm a professor at a community college in Virginia. Flew a little, made a left somewhere, ended up here. Glad to be here. Mahalo. Let's get rolling. So I write some books for Cengage Learning. Everybody say thanks, Cengage, for bringing me in. Everybody say thank you. Hey guys, I am writing the new Office 2019. Office 2019 is already out and about, super exciting. If you have any questions later, see me. Hey, I want to start here. You know, the deal is, I am the mother of 6 children. I am the grandmother of 5 children, and counting. But what I love most in this life is making sure my family is happy and my students are learning. So let's start there. You know, have you ever adopted a dog at a pound or a cat? Come on, at a shelter somewhere, right? It's just like finding new technologies for your classroom. They're all so cute, but which one will be best? You know, every one of these dogs should be able to tell their story. You know, he's so cute, but what can he do? I need this dog. Well, let's see what some technologies that you might adopt in our shelter today. So let's start here. Could everybody read this with me on the count of 3? 1, 2, 3. Don't limit a child to your own learning, for he or she was born in another time. Is that not right? You know, as we connect with our students today, they're secretly looking at you and saying, please don't lecture for the next 2 hours. They're saying, I want to learn, but do you want to connect with me? And their language today is part of this. And if we don't join them, it's not going to go well. So what can we do that's a little bit different? Well, let me tie this in with what we do every day. There's 2 brilliant men who, back in the 90s, named Chickering and Dr. Ehrman, who came up with these 7 principles to make sure that we connect at community colleges with students. But what I did with them is brought it 20-some years into the future and added a little bit of bling. Technology that would work in the same way. So what are we talking about? Well, I need everyone to dig out your smartphones. If you didn't bring them, that's okay. I want you to look at a neighbor next to you and tell them 2 words. The 2 words are help me. Everybody say it to both neighbors. Some of you are not lying, okay? So here's where we're going to start. One of their 7 principles for community college education was to encourage contact between students and faculty. But this is way before online classes, distance learning. So you're kind of like, how can I make it feel like a community? What you do very well in the islands is connect with each other. Community is an essence of your being. But how can we do that all the time? Online and even in the classroom. So let me show you a free technology that could work. Everyone, I want you to go to your app store. It's free, fabulous. Everybody have free and fabulous ready? So I want you to go to your app store. If you're on an iPhone, it's called the App Store. If you're on an Android device, it's called Google Play. And for the 3 people that have Windows phones in the entire planet, have a So, I want you to find a free app. It's called Flipgrid. Everybody tell your neighbor the name of it. Now, to help you find it, everybody look at this green plus sign right here. That may help you, okay? So that's what it will look like in the App Store. Green plus sign. Type in F-L-I-P, grid, Flipgrid. How many are starting to see it in your App Store? Start to download. It won't take a long time at all. By the way, the reason that this works so well, it works on PCs, Macs, Chromebooks, iPhones, Android phones, tablets, iPads, anything. So very simple. So what am I going to do with Flipgrid? Well, in a moment, and I'm going to come back to this, we are going to type in a code. We'll come back to the code in a minute. And let me show you why this connects so well in our classroom. Check this out.
Welcome to Flipgrid, a video-based discussion platform to fuel engagement in schools and organizations. Use video the way your students use video and build an active social community in your classroom. Flipgrid is simple. Create a grid for your classroom, a project team, a conference, or an entire organization. Once your grid is created, add a topic or two to get the discussion started. Students record videos and respond to a topic from any device. Finally, users can view and reply to each other's videos and build an active learning community. Lock your grid with a secure password or leave it open for ease of access. Moderate your grid to preview videos before they're visible to your community. And embed your grids, topics, and individual videos to any blog, classroom website, or learning management system to take your discussion further. So, how will you Flipgrid?
So let's get started. I'm going to do mine first while you're getting everything downloaded and ready to rock here in a moment. When you're ready, when it asks you for a code, everybody look on the top left of my screen. Do you see where it says D569BE4F? We'll also ask you for a password. Here's important to know. When you type in the password in a moment, the O in password is really a 0. Okay, what is the O in password really a? 0. Okay, so I'm going to do it live with you and show you how cool and easy this is. And the one thing that you won't have to worry about is teaching your students to use their phones. That will be pretty well done. So I'm opening Flipgrid and do the same when you're ready. And don't forget, they don't have to be physically in your class. They could be anywhere and still participate within this. So I put in the little code that's up on my top left. I put in my password for O for a 0. And it asks me, it says, aloha, introduce yourself. So here's why it works so well. When you start to do your video, and I'm going to put mine up there like this, so you can photobomb me properly. You got it, guys? Always put your eyes in the upper 1/3 of the frame. Just makes a better video, more engaging. You say the students don't want to see me in an online class, but they do. They want to see what you are, who is your essence. They need to make that connection. So let me start it out, and I'm going to introduce myself. Aloha, I'm Corinne Hoisington from Virginia. I am so thankful to share my day with you. Please consider Flipgrid for your classroom. So I simply hit next when I'm done. It plays it back, and then it asks you to take a selfie. I appreciate that it takes a selfie, because if it just grabbed a second of the video, how many of your faces would look like this in the classroom? Yeah? So let me do it real quick. So seconds later, it will ask you for your first and last name. So we're going to do this publicly in a second, but let me show you what it will ultimately create here. So 1 second later, I'm going to go live into Flipgrid so we can start seeing what we'll see here. So does everybody see, up on my screen, everyone, look, I'm going to type in password with a 0 again. And here we have a quick little response. And let me show you what comes out so you get the idea before we all try it. So in a moment, we will see everyone's little Flipgrid right here. Let's get this going. There we go. Perfect. You can probably play it back. Corinne Hoisington from Virginia. I'm so thankful to share my day with you. Please, now in just a couple seconds, it's going to add closed captioning in over 144 different languages, automatically. So that way all your hearing impaired students could hear as well. So read as well. So everyone ready? point at them and let them introduce themselves. You say, when you set this up, how many seconds can you allow? You can have it as short as 10 seconds, which is sometimes a fun intro to a term or thought. You can also make it out to 5 minutes. I've only set it for about a minute, but everyone introduce yourself, where you're from, what you teach, anybody at your table who is not a part of it, and we'll see what happens. Go. Calvin has finished already. Where are you, Calvin, in the house? Impressed. Sylvia, Laura, where were you? Ask your neighbor to help you if you're stuck on a screen. Well, start to look up here, everybody. Let's see some our big moments here. So look at some of these great-looking faces in here. Let's start here real quick. Pick me up here in a second, let's hope, with the sound. Everybody was afraid to talk loud because we were in such a big room. So, here's what I do with this. I make it kind of the icebreaker. What I assign the students is, let's say, tomorrow I'm going to teach what topic?
Culinary arts.
Culinary arts. And let's say I'm going to teach something called sous vide. Sous vide is a method of cooking. Fantastic. So, let's say my students have never heard the word sous vide. So, I put the assignment out there to research about 2 minutes on sous vide, make a quick video, and it could be funny for extra credit, but it must cover the content. And you know what happens? The students all start looking at each other's before they do theirs, because they want to be better than everyone else. So competition, classmates, bringing your personality, bringing who you are, your essence in. Now, by the time I start class tomorrow on sous vide, I play a couple of the best ones in front of the class. By the way, you know that one student who might put something out there that my grandmama might not approve of? I might check theirs ahead of time. And I can also have the power to delete if need be. Got it? So I play a few before class, but they've all watched each other's over and over again. They've commented on each other's. They know more about sous vide than I do the next day. Do you see what I'm saying? There's this community approach. You can do it with groups, activities. What do you think? What's it called again? Flipgrid. How much does it cost? You say, well, who owns it? Actually, Flipgrid was bought last year by Microsoft, and they have promised to keep it open for education forever and ever for free. So let me just show you very quickly how you would just set this up for your online or face-to-face class. You would just simply go to flipgrid.com on a computer. The reason for that is this is where you would set it up. You would just click sign up, it's free. And then once you get inside a Flipgrid, you can put as many topics as you want. Put them from 10 seconds to up to 5 minutes. And then once you create a new question, if you would, a new prompt, I click right here, new topic. You can put any topic right here. So I'm going to say everyone said hello. And then you can come down and add tons of YouTube video. You say, why would I put in YouTube video? Maybe I want them to watch a few very, very good instructional pieces or current events or something like that, and then comment back to those. So that way, you can, how can you usually assign video? And now you can. So think of it as starting your class out week and then making it a community. When students feel that they're online, isolated, they do not connect with you or their classmates, and most likely will not be successful. And we're not going to ask questions, but at the end, anything in between classes. How many give me a thumbs up for Flipgrid that you might try it? Okay? Hey, all right. Hey, let me move on, and let me just mention something. People all over the world are doing Flipgrid. Let me show you how far away.
Welcome to Flipgrid, a video-based.
So we're now seeing people all over the world.
Recently connected with Laura Getz, a marine biologist studying aquatic life in Antarctica. As Laura documents,
Could she be any farther from here?
Pittsburgh classrooms around the world respond to her videos and build a connected community with Antarctica.
Hi, my name's Laura Getz and welcome to Palmer Station. I'm a marine biology major at Northeastern University, which is in Boston. I'm here on station to study fish embryos, which is insanely cool work. There's tons of stuff to learn. I'm looking at a lot about how they grow.
By the way, this white stuff, it is called snow.
Seeing what happens in the environment. Please stay in touch and can't wait to tell you guys more.
In addition, students share their perspectives on weekly topics and STEM-focused questions connected to Laura's research.
Hi, my name is Julie.
So students from all over can ask. You can even make Flipgrid into a Q&A for your class. When a student emails you one question, you could put out a video to answer it to everyone. And I find when I do that, I get like 120 hits that they have watched that result to that question. So that means more than just that one student asked, but so many students won't bother to ask. They'll just ride by. So it makes a great community. Now think about education today. You can look up and Google anything, right? I think what education is becoming in our community colleges, hopefully, is not facts, not memorization, but thinking and being creative are the vital skills we need. We need people to invent and make and not just memorize some answer to something. And I think tools like this. Now notice, I and Jessica back there are wearing little aprons. Look in the center of your table. You're seeing all these plants. We are trying to plan and give you some tools to take with you into our classroom today. Why? To make our students grow. So I hope you see that. Hey, let me take you into the next one, which is great. Our next one, emphasize time on task. We want to make sure we use every moment because one day they're going to be applying for a great job, their dream job. And they need all those items on their resume to say, I've learned, I've accomplished, I've created. So what does that look like? Let me show you something amazing, and it actually has something to do with Microsoft Office. A lot of our schools now have Office out there, and we're thinking, well, how can I use something in Word? Let me show you something that's in the new Office 365. Everyone's kind of heard of that? Hey, let me show you something. I want you to imagine that I am a college graduate student. I just finished community college. I'm looking for a job. So I'm working on my resume in the new Microsoft Office, and let me show you something. I'm under the Review tab in Office, and if your school hasn't updated yet, they'll probably update this summer to the newest version, so you'll get this very soon. I go into the Review tab, and over here, Microsoft bought LinkedIn last year. I wish it was my idea. You know how much they bought it for? 23.2. And by the way, the next word does not start with an M. Help me out. Billion. as in Bill Gates. So let me show you why. So they put this new resume assistant inside of Word 365, that's the installed version. And look right here, you can type any job you're applying for. Now I put professor, instructor for us. But a student could put, I'm going into retail, I'm going into all these different entertainment venues, whatever they're going to be doing, and picking which industry. And here's what this does. It automatically, in the right pane, starts posting publicly posted resume content without any personal information, no phone numbers, no names, of what's already out on LinkedIn. When I type in that I'm a college instructor from a community college, it opens over 30,000 public resumes. Why is that helpful? These folks are your competition. And you would like to see, now the funny thing about this is we all kind of know what we do each day, but sometimes putting this into text is sometimes a challenge. Let me show you. So, how many have taught undergraduate courses on campus and online while maintaining active research, service, and leadership communities? We kind of do this all the time, but now when we hear that, we're like, oh, I do that. How many we work on curriculum and lesson plans and classroom management, but we don't think to write that down. You know what I mean? It's just kind of part of our worlds. Why is it so important? I'm not saying copy and paste this, but maybe retool your resume to make sure the students aren't wasting their time applying for jobs that they're never even viewed for. Let me show you something very valuable here. When I scroll down past all the publicly posted resumes, most of the time when one of our students sends in a resume to an HR at a company, most of the time a human does not read their resume first. You all know that, right? It's read by a piece of software called ProFinder. And it's looking for the keywords in that field. And if you don't have the keywords in your resume somewhere, guess what, everyone? There's a special file for your resume. It's not, it might be even number 13, okay? So, guess what this tells you? LinkedIn tells you for your position, you better have all of these words in your resume. Is that not helpful? That's huge. And so often our students, let me give you an example. My youngest daughter lives in Seattle. She has a great degree. She was applying, and with the great job field out there, she didn't hear anything for 6 weeks after handing out 100 resumes. Nothing. I said, honey, do you mind me peeking at your resume? We went in here, we beefed it up, we made sure all the keywords, resent it out again. Same 100 companies. She got 10 calls the first day. Wow. Do you see a difference? So nowadays, and in fact, we can scroll down further, and it tells me I can put in our state right here, and it starts to find jobs that are available here with your background. So you can apply right here, right now, and this is a little controversial, but when you apply for the jobs using Word with a LinkedIn piece, LinkedIn puts your resume on top at the company as a thank you for using their tools. Whoa. Do you get this? So how many are going to start helping our students with the end game, right? So they don't waste their time, that they can connect with this. And how many are now going to use this to beef up all of our resumes just as an example, because we're very happy with where we were. You live in paradise, people. Remember that, okay? Hey, let me show you the next one. How many have already learned something new? Good? Hey, let's continue with our tools today that we're planting. Hey, I love this principle. It says develop reciprocity and cooperation among students. Everybody say reciprocity. It feels good to say. Biggest word of the day. Don't you feel academic? All right, let's do that. Hey, everybody, smartphones back out. You know I want to use the devices today. So what I'm going to do is get everyone's feedback immediately in class or online. So everyone, right now, we are opening our phones. Go to a browser. Browser is like Google Chrome, any of the different browsers. And at the top, type in this website. What we're typing in is padlet.com/ my last name is Hoisington, C1. Don't you wish my last name was Smith? / and it doesn't matter if it's capital or lowercase Hawaii. So put all of that in. I'll leave that up for a second. And when you open it, if you get the right address, you should beautiful picture right here. And it should say, integrated student support, a holistic approach. We want to use the tools that our students enjoy using, and that is a holistic approach, so they feel part of our community today. How many have already gotten this website open? Could you now look around to your table, see if you can get anyone to find a typo in there? So once again, Padlet.com/Hoisington C and a 1 / our beautiful country. Stay here. You have it? Okay, so I'm going to head out there. Help your neighbor if I move off of this and you can't see it anymore. So we should get to a screen that looks something like this. Now here's what I want you to try. I want everyone to double tap. You will get an image like this on your device. Got it? Again, this works on every device, totally free. In a minute, you're going to put your first and last name in your school. But everyone, let me show you something. Does everybody see that little camera? You can, if you want, put more than your name. You don't have to. And then take a group selfie at your table real quick so we can document who's here. Now, not only can this do this, everyone start writing and let's put things in there. Start typing something in, so we're double tapping. Typing your first and last name.
In the title?
Yes, in the title. Your first and last name in the title, and if you'd like to take a picture of the folks at your table, we could start the camera. And let's see what we can get posted here real quick to get input from our class. Now, while you're typing in and taking pictures here in a moment, whoa, look at this go, everybody. Look up here. Isn't this amazing? Let me close mine because I'm on top of someone here. Okay. Oh, look at this. Everyone, look at our day. Guys, aren't we starting to feel like a true group? We're seeing our best smiles. Could they take pictures of maybe in an art class of what they create? In a culinary arts, could they take a picture of what they just made? In an electricity class, could they take a picture of the circuits they just made? So we now have a display showcase. Do you remember as a small child, you put things on your mother's refrigerator? Yes? You are proud to do this. Why not start in this environment? Oh, are we not an amazing looking bunch right here? Look at this. All right. Now, when you double click, you can do more than just put in your name and your picture. It can actually record audio and video. So let's say we were taking a class in Spanish. We could have the students practice welcoming each other to the class. So they could practice their Spanish and say, bienvenidos. Or if they're doing any kind of language, would this not be helpful? So this is super simple. How do I do it? She's getting, I'm being stopped. Okay. You just, let me go through how you create it. You simply go to the website, Padlet.com. Padlet. Maybe write that on your phone for notes. And then you create a free account, no cost ever, and you can then post any picture. Did you see what picture I put? Wouldn't it be cool if you put your school's background on it? And then be able to put things together here. Oh my goodness, this bib does nothing for me. Oh, Mick. Okay, so now we have all of these great pictures. By the way, Erica, where are you? That's my favorite. Good picture, okay? Okay, yeah, let me move a little bit. We're evidently having too much fun in here. But let's continue to do so, okay? Conferences are never really used to me. My last name is Hoisington, and they call me at my school Noisy Hoisy, because my class is always doing activities. They always stick me on the end, but that's okay. I have a waiting list for my classes, so be it. So that's always a positive. How many like Padlet? Pretty easy. Another idea with Padlet is you can actually post any kind of file, like Google documents, Word documents, PDFs. For example, if you have a writing exercise in English, now all the other students could read it and give comments. So you can post any file in the environment, kind of a visual. I know we all have LMSs, but these little tools can work inside there and make it much more of a community sense. Hey, let's move on. What I want to show you next, and by the way, as you can see, I have some cool computers up here in a moment we'll get to. So I want to show you, we want to encourage active learning. Have I just been lecturing to you the entire time? No. Students want to move about, and let's face it, especially with longer classes, I think if we mix it up with different activities, it's vital. So let me kind of show you what I mean. There is a way of teaching that mandates how you start your class, or if online, how you start your week. We call them bell ringers. Bell ringers, even if you don't have bells at school, if you're hearing bells and there are no bells, maybe you have bigger problems, okay? But let me give you an example. Let's say I'm teaching a class today about how social media is changing business as we know it today. That's my topic. And I can either start the class like this. Everyone, sit down. I have a dynamic lecture starting in a moment. Boy, yeah. Or I can start with a little bit of a bell ringer. You see, what is that? As students sit down, I might have it on the board or somewhere what to be doing, like open up your book or get out something that we're going to work on. But it takes a good minute or two to get everyone kind of settled. Instead, find a piece of media, like on YouTube, that has something to do with your lecture today. To kind of focus everyone in, bring your minds forward before we get rolling. So remember mine, social media. How many know the Three Little Pigs? Hands, please. Three Little Pigs. Well, if the Three Little Pigs story were made today, I suspect it would look like this. Everyone would want their voice heard. There would be online surveys. There would be conspiracy theories of what really happened. There's an inhaler with the what, people? Wake up and smell the bacon, people! And the spam. Let's get started, class. Do you like plan A or plan B? You say, well, how can I find all this content? Just start to make a little library. Share it with the classmates and colleagues that you work with, and by the time you'll have some really good stuff after a semester long, just to be in class with. Capture their attention. And it could be job related. Let's say you teach network security and cybersecurity. You might want to start with job openings and what they actually do at the beginning of class to really connect. Hey, next. Look at this one. Be clear in your instructions and expectations. You know, a lot of our students really want to perform well, but sometimes they read it, and you're like questioning whether they do read it, but you kind of look back at it and say, did they really kind of grasp what was going on? I want to show you a new way to assign exciting assignments. Have you ever heard those two words together? Exciting and assignments. Now, a lot of times I hate to assign only writing. Why? Sometimes